Ruining characters has been Marvel's favorite hobby for a few years now.
I almost didn't recognize you.
Some say that source material doesn't matter. It's a new story, a new interpretation, a new universe. Stop whining about source material, nerd. It does not matter. This of course is not true. After all, if source material didn't matter, why adapt it in the first place? Probably because it had some kind of value. People like those original characters and enjoyed their stories. Objectively speaking, some changes are necessary. Film is a different medium than a comic book, it uses different tricks to engage with the audience, and those need to be reflected in your script. The problem is that any change should be justified and made solely for the story's sake, to make it better. At first, that's exactly what the MCU was trying to do. Iron Man was a wonderful movie and Robert Downey Jr. is the best version of Tony Stark we ever had since the dawn of Marvel.
Marvel Jesus.
Unfortunately, those days are gone. MCU became hollow and pointless, as did its characters. So, here's 20 Marvel characters ruined by Marvel's cinematic universe. Number 1. Taskmaster. The Black Widow movie is the reason I stopped caring about the MCU. Mainly because Taskmaster is one of my favorite characters. I'm not sure if you can even call this an adaptation because every core element of this character was changed. His look, powers, personality, origin, nationality, gender and identity. There is little left of the original. And I could talk about it for hours, but there is one element that stands out here. Something that could really improve the movie. In the comics before turning mercenary, Taskmaster used to be a SHIELD agent. Why is this information important? Who else was a SHIELD agent? Can this information be used to make this movie better? I don't know, nor did the writers. Number 2. Black Widow. It's not a secret that Black Widow works better as a spy, an espionage expert, than a member of a superhero team. It wouldn't be my first choice, I would go the classic way with Hank Pym and the Wasp. But the first MCU movies somehow make her work. They establish her as a strong female character with a troubled past, skilled, clever and likable, certainly a worthy member of the founding team. And it was glorious. The problem is that Marvel did not believe she was so great. So she didn't get the solo movie everyone wanted. Instead, they gave it to the embodiment of feminist propaganda that no one wanted. And when she finally got one... Number 3. Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic.
The smartest man alive, Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four.
Hello, Stephen. Wanda. Black Bolt could destroy you with one whisper from his mouth.
Number 4. Black Bolt. If your only exposure to Black Bolt was through this terrible disaster that pretends to be a movie,
Hit a guy, hit it there.
you wouldn't know that Black Bolt is one of the most powerful Marvel characters, even without using his voice. Yes, his whisper can level buildings, and that's why he doesn't really use this dangerous power much, but even without it, he's basically Superman. He could break Captain America in half with his bare hands. Why would someone like that, a seasoned warrior king, who is used to never speaking, why would a dude like that scream? Why would he ever scream by accident? This is just another case of writers not understanding the character. I know that by now to watch a Marvel movie we have to throw away all logic and sense of realism out of the window, but there should be a limit to how stupid things can be. Number 5. Doctor Strange. The first movie about our favorite Sorcerer Supreme was pretty good. Strange had a decent character arc. It had a functional magic system that was used competently to resolve conflicts and further the narrative. Unfortunately, with every next movie, Strange slowly becomes worse and magic makes less and less sense. Now the functional magic of the MCU is a distant memory. You probably wouldn't find it even in the memory store.
Replay your significant memories now at a discounted price.
It is clear that MCU writers have no idea how to write magic. Unless they hire a creator with experience in handling magic system, it would be better if they never made another movie about Doctor Strange. Number 6. She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters. Of course you would expect jokes from She-Hulk. You would also expect them to be funny. She-Hulk from the comics was always one of the fans' favorite female superheroes. Not many women of Marvel could rival her popularity, so seeing her downfall is truly very sad for the fans. Here she is not a good person trying to do the right thing, not anymore. She's not even a good lawyer, but everyone is pretending she's great.
Douchebag of the year!
Her origin, personality, her fatal flaw, her motivation, all of the core elements were changed so much that she's basically a different character now. She also looks like crap, but hey, at least she's still green. So job well done, I guess. Number 7. Valkyrie. The problem with Valkyrie is not the fact that this is Nordic mythology, so she should be blonde and white. The problem is that she is an established Marvel character, so she should look like the character. This is Valkyrie. People know her. She was among the Defenders. This is how she looked for years in comic books, games and animation. And when you adapt a comic book character, people expect that you will choose an actress who looks similar. This is what they used to do. This is how MCU acquired its popularity. And to stop caring about this was a mistake. But the real problem with Tessa Thompson is of course not her skin color. Valkyries are mighty warriors. They are powerful, muscular and big ladies. In fact, most Asgardian female warriors look like they can kick ass. Meanwhile, Tessa Thompson is a twig. A twig with the acting range of a plank. Never mind the skin color, they should hire an actress who looks physically imposing. I know it's Marvel Universe and I understand its superpowers, but a superpower is no excuse for the lack of muscles. A superpowered person who doesn't look physically imposing just isn't very believable. And always breaks my immersion. In conclusion, a warrior woman should look like a warrior woman. Number 8. Titania. This is the same thing. Titania used to be an imposing supervillain. She emitted power. Many would wish to be crushed under her.
Punish me! Punish me!
My point is, some genius writers change strong female character into discount Paris Hilton. Number 9. Black Panther. You wouldn't learn it from the MCU, but Black Panther is supposed to be among the top 10 smartest humans in the Marvel Universe. His intellect is supposed to be on a similar level to that of Tony Stark, Bruce Banner, Hank McCoy or Doctor Doom. But MCU decided to steal that core element of his character and give it to Shuri.
Shuri!
All that's left is the hollow shell of a great iconic character. To see a proper Black Panther, I recommend watching Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes or Civil War. Number 10. Daredevil. Daredevil is one of the greatest characters that Marvel has ever created. And we were very lucky to get the Daredevil show from Netflix. It is most likely the best superhero show ever created. And then MCU came for him. See, modern Marvel and DC in general are not in the business of giving you what you like. Instead, they are trying really hard to make you like whatever they will give you. Instead of producing quality content, they are trying to make the fans embrace the mediocre by using lies, propaganda and gaslighting. We wanted this, but we got this. And we know what the biggest issue here is. It's his costume. It's true that a yellow costume was the original one. It's also true that it looks stupid. And everyone hates it. That's why Stan Lee changed it to red. It's really simple.
And a lot of people said, we don't like the yellow costume. So being a man who makes very profound decisions, I said, okay, how about red?
And I don't think this was made for the sake of nostalgia. The only reason is probably that one mustard and ketchup joke. At the very least, it shows that the writers were aware of how ridiculous this thing looks. Sadly, the jokes are one of the biggest MCU's problems. It was fairly balanced at first, but currently logic, character development, and even iconic character core elements are being sacrificed for the sake of often very unfunny jokes. Number 11. Hank Pym, also known as Ant-Man, Giant Man, Yellow Jacket, the Wasp, and Ultron, and he has too many names.
I know socialism is a charged word. We can learn a lot.
Stop it. Get some help.
Number 12. Venom. Technically this is Sony, but he is kind of part of an MCU now. So the problem with Venom is the main character's absolute lack of agency. Also because of a superficial understanding of the source material, the core elements of the character are completely lost. Eddie Brock plus alien goo equals Venom. We are Venom, not I am Venom. Eddie Brock should be the main hero of this story. Meanwhile, he is just a host for Venom. A host with no control over his own body. He only has control when Venom lets him. This never should work like that. Taking away all agency from your main character is almost always bad for the story. Venom is Venom because of Eddie Brock. Venom fans are Eddie Brock fans. Completely disregarding this character while elevating alien goo doesn't work for me. I don't know what this is, but they are definitely not Venom. Number 13. Thanos. So Thanos was probably the best Marvel character adaptation in the entire MCU. Mainly because he's nothing like the one from the comic. There he was just a purple simp that wanted Death to love him, so he was willing to destroy the entire universe for her. Oh, I have killed so many for you, why won't you love me? So the MCU version is a well done improvement. They gave him a real reason to do things. He's a driven man, arguably he may be wrong, but he believes strongly in his cause. He's more like Doctor Doom than Thanos. The Infinity War was great. Unfortunately, Endgame ruined it. Thanos' entire personality changed upon seeing a video clip. A video clip. After that, his personality completely shifts to being even worse than in the comics. Really disappointing. Number 14. Loki. Loki started as one of the best Marvel villains, perhaps even better than classic Loki. Unfortunately, after seeing a few video clips, his personality completely changes. To be fair, Thanos saw just one clip, so this is an improvement maybe. Number 15. Carol Danvers, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel. If you read comic books or simply watch the X-Men animated TV show, you will know that Miss Marvel is an important part of the Rogue's origin story. Rogue stole Carol's power and put her in coma for several years. Eventually she wakes up, but that event scarred her. She suffers from PTSD and becomes an alcoholic. Eventually she overcomes her trauma because the Avengers and the world needed her. MCU Captain Marvel has no flaws to overcome, she is just a plank with godlike powers. Number 16. Flash Thompson. Also known as Agent Venom and Anti-Venom. Every Spider-Man fan knows that Flash Thompson is one of the oldest members of the Spider-Man supporting cast. Starting as a high school bully, he eventually undergoes major character development and becomes a better person. Inspired by Spider-Man's heroism, he even becomes a war hero. Unfortunately, he also loses his legs. Lucky for him, the American government always wants to create new super soldiers, and they are never short of extraterrestrial specimens. They just need someone brave and willing to bond with an emotionally unstable alien. What could possibly go wrong? And that's how the story of Agent Venom starts. And we will never see it happen because instead of Flash Thompson we have this guy.
Bum, bum, busted!
Agent Venom or Anti-Venom may not be Spider-Man, but he has fans. Some people like him, and no one likes this guy. Marvel changed a decent character into a complete clown. I think he might be the most annoying person in the entire MCU. Can you imagine this guy being a superhero? Number 17. Modok. Marvel heroes always treated Modok like a joke. And it makes sense for witty characters like Iron Man, Spider-Man or Hawkeye to do so. They always make jokes and make fun of their enemies. However, the universe itself never treated Modok like a joke. And the writers never treated him as a joke. Quantumania, however, made that mistake. In reality, Modok is a tragic character. And for the sake of the story, he should be treated seriously by the writers. Modok used to be an ordinary scientist, but he was mutated by advanced idea mechanics in order to create a living supercomputer. In the process, Modok developed psychic abilities and killed his creators. Then he took over AIM as its leader and main scientist. Just look at this monstrosity that can vaporize people with the power of his mind. Is it really a good idea to reduce him to a flying dick? I remember reading it a few years ago. I think it was a Hulk issue. It really made me feel sorry for Modok. The writers made it clear that deep inside he misses his lost humanity. He needs his superior intellect to run AIM, so he cannot turn himself human again. But he hopes that one day he will be able to cast his powers away and be normal. After killing all the Avengers and taking over the world. But hey, nobody's perfect. Number 18. Quicksilver. Everyone loved Quicksilver.
You didn't see that coming?
Not this one. This one. People were so excited to see him in the MCU. Unfortunately, the only thing we got from WandaVision was bait and switch. Marvel ruined this character for the sake of the joke.
Ralph Boner?
Boner.
Funny. Number 19. Hulk. Avengers Endgame tricked me. I believed that they were trying to do something meaningful with the Hulk, and I was terribly disappointed. Silly me for thinking that writers will give us a comic book accurate Hulk. You know, the Hulk that people actually like, instead what he devolved into.
Smart Hulk.
Endgame Hulk somewhat resembles the Professor from the comics. In the comics, Bruce Banner suffers from multiple personality disorder. That's why we have so many different versions of the Hulk. Each Hulk is Banner's different persona born from his mind, which was shattered to pieces by his childhood trauma. A Savage Hulk is the personification of Banner's anger. The Professor's personality is, however, an idealized version of the Hulk. This is what Banner always wanted Hulk to be. A superhero scientist like Reed Richards. No version of the Hulk is 100% mentally stable. Eventually he transforms into a savage Bruce Banner. You can imagine how inconvenient that may be. Don't get me wrong, I was not expecting the same from the Endgame Hulk. But I expect something. So for the entire movie I was waiting for something to happen to the Hulk. From the start I noticed that Banner was overly positive. And I believed this was a setup for something. So I was waiting for the payoff, which never came. His toxic positivity never backfired on him. Even when Natasha died, he just got a little upset for the moment and that was it. Yes, that is totally something that would happen to the real Hulk. It may sound awful, but you cannot have a happy Hulk. Banner's internal struggle is a core element of his character. Castrated Hulk is boring. There is no conflict anymore. The purpose of the Hulk is to smash.
Smash.
What is the point of the Hulk with no anger issues? Number 20. Zeus. In the comics, there is a story about Hulk going to Olympus, where he fights Zeus. Hulk knows that Zeus can easily smite him, so he baits him into a fist fight instead. Hera is not too happy about it. She's like, "What are you doing, husband? Just smite this mortal and be done with it." And Zeus is like, Shut up and make me a sandwich. The fight is brief but pretty awesome. Hulk loses and Zeus punishes him by chaining him to a rock where every day a vulture. Seriously, Zeus? After thousands of years, you couldn't come up with new means of torture? Well, I guess old people really like bird feeding. Anyway, this is amazing. Meanwhile, in the MCU, Zeus just flicks people's clothes off. I mean, I really like Russell Crowe, but this is just dumb.
You flick too hard, damn it!
Why can't we have muscular and violent Zeus? Let me tell you something. You know what? Just stop making movies. Please.
Well, we know better than to just obviously preach to young people, because that's not the way to reach them.